It's the Cool Kids Club. You've been invited to the Cool Kids Club. It's so exciting, yeah. Justin likes monsters, yeah. And Amy likes words in the Cool Kids Club. Cool Kids Club.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Cool Kids Club podcast. This is episode number 114, and I am one of your hosts and one of America's favorite siblings, Justin.
Oh, hello, Justin. I
Hello.
am your co-host and sibling for your whole life, basically. And my name is Amy.
Hey Amy, how's it going?
Hey. Well, it's not bad. It's not bad. How are you doing?
Oh, living the dream.
Yeah. The horrors persist,
God.
yet so do we. You
Yep.
know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
We're
I
gonna
started
get into that
a
in
new
this
job.
episode, too.
I
did
started
start
a new
job.
job since our last episode, so good
Congrats.
things. Thank you. Good things
I did
going
not.
on. You did not, but and I'm working remote now, Justin. That's a whole
Shut up.
that's a whole new ball game.
Shut up. You've been waiting to rub that in my face.
Yeah,
You've
I
been
have.
waiting to get me on the show so you can just
Yeah.
rub it in that you get to work remote now.
God, I've petted my cat so much in the last couple days.
God, I hate you.
Hey, what are we?
Anyway.
Let's get it. Let's go ahead and just get into it because I feel this is
Boy.
going to be a bit of a long episode today. So let's get right
Yeah.
on in.
Yeah, let's just dive on into this. We're doing PBS Kids today.
Yeah.
This was not originally on our schedule. We
was not.
called an audible to do PBS Kids,
We could do that because it's just me and you. We do whatever the
Yeah.
hell we want.
and we're going to.
Yeah, we are.
I want to. Yeah, I think we should give a heads up. So this is going to be mostly a normal episode. We're going to talk about all the fun shows, and I understand that this show is escapism, and it's fun, and this is maybe one of your fun, safe spaces.
Yeah.
So I do want to warn you that at the end of this episode, we're going to talk about the current situation with PBS.
Yes.
We're going to dive into a little bit of the current political climate. So if that is not your thing, if you don't want to listen to that, then you can feel free to tune out. That's fine.
And there'll be a heads
but we
up.
are going to talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be towards the end. So if you want to stick around and just listen to us talk about all these awesome shows, we're going to do that
Yes.
too.
I do have, if you're going to stick around and listen, which I hope you do, I have two questions that I kind of want to, I kind of want to put the episode through the lens of these two questions.
Okay.
Just to kind of have in the back of our minds. And then when we decide to get all serious here in a little bit, we'll return to those two questions. And that is, why do the people in power currently say that they want things like PBS to go away? Why do they say they want it to go away? And then I want to keep in mind the question of why do they actually want it to go away?
Because those
And
those may or may not be two different things.
they're very much two different things, and we'll get back to that. But we're gonna have a fun episode. Until then,
Yes, we are. This
and
is
then
different
the
for us,
fun
Justin.
will end.
There'll be no more fun ever again. This is different for us, but we are still the Cool Kids Club. We are still Justin and Amy, and we are still going to have a goofy conversation about PBS
Yeah.
Kids. You know?
Now, I do think that we also need to put a disclaimer. A lot of disclaimers on this one.
Yeah.
There's a couple shows. So PBS Kids, obviously, that encompasses a lot of shows.
Sure. Yeah.
And we're sticking pretty much to the 80s and 90s, but there
Yes,
are
we
a
do.
couple shows we're really not going to talk about for a couple different reasons. One, we're not going to talk about Wishbone because we've already done a Wishbone
Yes,
episode.
we did a Wishbone episode.
Episode 81 in the archives.
Oh yes, archives.
Go check that out. We talk about where he's buried or not buried. It's a good one. It's a good episode. I stand by it.
Show me Wishbone's grave. Where he buried.
And look, I'm just cats out of the bag on this one.
Yeah.
Because we called an audible and
Yeah.
decided just to do a PBS Kids episode this week. There's going to be two shows that were pretty important to PBS Kids that we're not really going to mention because spoiler alert.
Yeah.
They are in episodes coming down the pipeline.
Yes.
Whole episodes
maybe next year, but it will be.
It may be into the next year, but we're gonna do soon. We're doing entire episodes on Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego and the Magic School Bus, both the books and the show.
Yes.
So we're gonna go ahead and just put a pin in those.
We'll talk about them briefly, but yeah.
Yeah, we just did.
This is it. Okay, that was us talking about it, guys.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. More to come. Do you remember the P-Pals?
Is that when you had to use the buddy system to go to the bathroom in kindergarten? When you all had you had to hold hands and...
I didn't know that's what these things were called. So, look, I didn't know. PBS Kids actually didn't become quote-unquote PBS Kids until 1999.
No, that can't be right.
Well, they always had children's programming. It just wasn't called PBS Kids in a block like that until 99. A lot of the shows we're going to talk about today predate PBS.
that.
Like they were around
the
before
moniker
PBS.
of PBS Kids. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
But it was kids programming on PBS.
But the P-Pals.
Okay, I did not know that's what that was called.
Well, I put a picture of them and they're already on our social media. They are this is when they really kind of started. These are in 93 and they really kind of started to like, okay, we're like a block of shows for kids and but it still wasn't really called PBS Kids, but you had like the PBS head. Yes. And they were all like...
Well, it wasn't... they're not going to show Masterpiece Theater at 9 a.m. They're like, well, what are we going to do? You
got to put a backwards baseball cap on the PBS head and make it like funky colors. God. And I did not know they were called P-Pals.
There was
I just remember them being from like little like...
That thought, maybe we shouldn't name them that. Nobody...
P like the letter P.
I know, but still when you say it...
Yeah.
Yeah, P-Pals does sound like...
Yeah. The P-Pals were really just like, they were in like animated shorts and stuff. Like, like how Nickelodeon would do like little like 30-second little...
Like how Nick Jr. had face almost,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sort of like that. This was the whole head, though.
It was three of them.
It wasn't... I know, but it wasn't just the face.
Right, yeah, it was three...
It's the whole head.
It was three disembodied PBS heads. 3 heads?
They
turned around
arms
backwards baseball
coming
cap.
out of the neck.
They did have little
and
stubby
little legs coming out.
Nubby arms.
Yes. Yeah. The
I guess that's true. The P-Pals.
The P-Pals. I love it.
All right, that's the episode, guys.
That's it, guys. That's how serious we're gonna get.
Look, there's a lot of shows on PBS Kids, and not all of them I really watched because, I was just too old at the time.
Yeah, that's true.
I remember Barney being on, but I didn't. There's a lot of shows for like little kids that I kind of missed.
See, I
never spent a lot of time with.
I remember getting like sort of into Barney, but I was like 6 or 7 and so deemed too old.
You were too old for Barney.
And I remember I to this day can remember you being like, "You're too old for Barney," and
I was
me.
right.
And yeah, I know you were, but it was just, did it have to be so harsh though?
Well, the world is a cruel place, Amy. I was trying to prepare you for that.
Apparently so, yeah. And I didn't get heavy into it, well, because I was too old for it and I didn't want to tell anybody, but...
You didn't get big into the barn?
I didn't get big into the barn. So people are very, and really just people a few years younger than me are much more nostalgic for Barney. That's not... Yeah. Not
you kind of... You missed it by just
like
a
couple
bit.
like 2 years, maybe. Yeah.
Lamb Chop? Did you like Lamb? I remember
I loved Lamb Chop, Justin.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's just something very quaint about that show.
It's very twee.
It is quite twee. Another big one was Arthur that was a little after our time.
That was definitely after my time. I think Arthur started in like 96. Though, were there books before that?
I do think there were, because I was familiar with the character.
Yes, I was too. Yeah, because I don't ever really recall watching the show.
And then, of course, like Curious George. That had been around for a long time.
Yeah, I knew the books.
Right. And that became
never...
a PBS show.
Now, did you ever watch a lot of Thomas the Tank, Shining Time Station? I never really got into those.
No, I'm not, and I don't like the Cars movies, so maybe I just don't like vehicles with faces.
Anthropomorphic vehicles. There's something...
Dark-sided.
There's something dark about Thomas the Tank and Shining Time Station, although it did feature George Carlin as the conductor.
That is true.
Well, Ringo Starr first. It was Ringo Starr for a season, and then it was George Carlin.
How do you top Ringo? You get George Carlin.
You get George fucking Carlin. So these are the shows we're not talking about today.
I know. They're not even the big enough ones to talk about.
15 minutes in, I feel like when I put together this episode, I was like, I feel like there's the big three. That's going to be the bulk of this episode. Yeah. The big three, and you know what they are?
The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost of PBS Kids.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. So the Father.
Yes.
Fred Rogers of the titular Mr. Rogers neighborhood. Yes. You want to give me a little rendition of the Mr. Rogers theme there?
Well, I think we should just play it.
Okay, but I want to hear you do it too.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine?
Oh, to have a cardigan that zips up the middle. He was living the dream.
I love a zip-up cardigan.
Yeah. Yeah,
I've got a couple.
Yeah, little, won't you be my neighbor?
My neighbor. Oh, and he comes in, and he sees... First things first, right? Yeah. You get the tiny
town. I was going to say the tiny neighborhood.
Ooh, what I wouldn't do. I'd have that whole neighborhood in my home. Yeah. Just with all its like little houses.
When you'd read like people. Richard Scarry books, and you were just like, to be a worm in an apple car. Yeah. It's very similar.
Yeah.
Oh, to be a really fly on the wall.
Skewed my perception of what the world was going to be like.
The world's a good place in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood.
Yeah, it is. And then he comes in, and he takes off his outside sweater and puts on his inside sweater. And he changes his shoes, and he like takes off his dress shoes and puts on some sneakers.
Yeah. He just It
is, Amy, it is maybe the most pleasant television show in history. I was watching some of it today, actually. And I was like, this just is like a warm blanket. It is the most soothing, comforting, happy, just wonderful thing. Yeah. In the entire world.
It's like Bob Ross was always like the joy of painting. It's like a human Xanax. It's like Mr. Rogers, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood is that same vibe. But even more so because, joy of painting's just watching a kind man paint very well. This is encompassing. This is
watching a very kind man change his sweaters
and his shoes.
And feed his fish.
And be kind to people.
And be kind and tell you that you're great just the way you are.
Hey, you don't have to change a thing.
Now, on the other hand, I want to get your opinion on this. You have the Land of Make-Believe.
Well,
this is every episode had a Land of Make-Believe segment. Now, this is where you go. This is where the puppets come in.
Well,
I want to get your opinion on this because I feel like... do you think this is like a whimsical... Do you enjoy the Land of Make-Believe? Is it a whimsical puppet world? Or is this actually a terrifying nightmare realm that is ruled with an iron fist by Lady Elaine Fairchild with her Irish drunk nose?
That's xenophobic.
I am Irish. I can say that.
Well, that is true. It's a little bit of both. I think some people might find this whimsical. Others would find this downright terrifying.
Well, now where do you fall? What's your opinion?
Well, it depends on which puppet, because some of them are scarier than others.
Lady Elaine Fairchild, she's pretty.
She's not. She
nightmare
is
fuel.
not to be fucked with.
No, she's like kind of like a puppet master type.
She
of
looks
guy.
like she's been in a fire.
Yeah, she's charred.
And she looks charred.
She's got some burnt ends.
Yeah, she looks like she was pulled out of some rubble. Like the hair looks like it's singed off.
She has been rode hard and hung up wet.
God, yeah, she's
Lady Elaine Fairchild has had a rough life. We should go easy on her.
Oh, God,
She is a lady, so
Not
she
very
maybe she hasn't had
ladylike. That haircut. I mean, it looks like someone cut her hair by just getting a lighter and just burning the ends off of it.
Just imagining Fred Rogers in his house in the middle of the night.
It can't find any scissors.
Just burning puppet hair.
Burning puppet hair. She's terrifying. Now, not everybody in the Land of Make Believe is scary, but
I guess not everybody. I never really cared for the Land of Make Believe.
It wasn't my
if I'm being
favorite.
honest.
No.
I much preferred the regular stuff in
Yeah.
the house. One of my absolute favorite things would be the like pre-recorded stuff where he would go somewhere.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
like, teach you something. Now, Amy, I want to do you a favor, and I want to do the listeners a favor. We'll splice some sound.
Okay.
But I have a link in the notes here. Go ahead and click on that link. This is a Mr. Rogers How Crayons Are Made factory tour, and I just want you to hear the music, and it really, really took me back.
Experience.
Now watch the crayons come into those crayon collectors. There they are. Look at all those yellow crayons.
I love that.
Right?
Yeah. That's wonderful.
What
Just
a vibe.
What a vibe. Yeah, I just want him to tell me any bad news, you know? Like if I have to hear it, I want to hear it from Fred Rogers.
With a little jazz piano under
With
it.
a little jazz piano. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He made learning engaging, you know? You know what? He made kindness cool. He made kindness something that we all would
Before
want.
Superman, Mr. Rogers was making kindness cool.
And that really was a lot of what the show was about. It was learning.
It was.
You know, like
Yes.
we're going to talk about Sesame Street, and that's also very educational. But it really was about empathy and compassion and acceptance. And, you know, we're obviously in a time of social upheaval right now, but this was happening, you know, this was in the 60s into the 70s when there was a lot of that.
Yeah, Mr. Rogers premiered in 1968. So,
Right.
you know, until recently, probably the most... time of the most social upheaval
Yeah,
in a generation.
exactly. Yeah.
You know, and this is the height of sort of the civil rights movement, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of bad stuff going on, and here's all of a sudden this guy who's this mild-mannered little guy in a sweater
Yeah.
who's talking to kids,
Putting
and
on his
more so
house shoes.
Yeah, and it certainly is, like you said, you made a good point. It is about education, but Mr. Rogers maybe even more so than like a Sesame Street or a Reading Rainbow or something like that is about, I think, developing a child emotionally.
It's social emotional learning is what we would call that now.
There you go.
But it is.
There you
It
go.
is.
It is.
Yeah.
It's about empathy and it's about compassion and it's about acceptance and of other people and acceptance of yourself. And this was like it is today. At the time, this was a political statement. This was, you know, this was a few years removed from the Civil Rights Act. Desegregation was, you know, segregation was illegal, but it was still very much woven into the fabric of the country.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, this is the year Martin Luther King's assassinated.
Exactly.
You know, so this stuff is rampant, and one of the most famous moments, of course, on Mr. Rogers is May 1969, where he invites Officer Clemens, the black policeman, to share his pool with him.
Yeah.
And and they both sit there and they have a conversation with their feet in the pool, and something as simple as that, it was a big deal.
Yes.
And it was very much done intentionally to make a political statement.
Absolutely.
I think that it showed. He would tell kids that the world could be better if you wanted it to be. That you look around and you see all this hate and negativity and violence, and that it's okay if you're different, and it's okay if other people are different too.
Yep. Yeah.
And I think that probably both of us, I mean, outside of the immediate in our life influences that made us into people, I think that, of television personalities, maybe no one more so than Mr. Rogers, kind of made me a better person than I would have been otherwise.
Yeah, I feel like it was raising decent human beings. It was teaching people to be good humans.
Yes.
And I do always think it's interesting and kind of funny when people complain that they don't want politics and things like that. And I'm like, Mr. Rogers was doing that 60 years ago, but sure. Because you're right, that was a very political thing, to not only just like have a black police officer on the show, but to share because you're in such a time when, people truly thought, you could catch diseases from someone different than you, or you could, there was so much hate.
And as you say that,
so
keep in mind, you say at the time.
I know.
This is within our parents' lifetimes. This is the world we are very much still living in.
Yes, absolutely.
This is this is a little over 15 years before I was born. Like, this wasn't, hundreds of years ago.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Hey, do you want to hear the most absolute on-the-nose fucking thing I found out today? You want to take a guess, Amy? Why don't you take a guess as to when the last... So, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood started in 1968. Take a guess when the last episode aired. Just shoot me a day,
September
a year.
10th, 2001.
August 31st, 2001.
Well, that's crazy for two reasons.
Like,
I didn't know it
less
ran that
than
long.
2 weeks before.
And also, you gotta be kidding me.
Come on. It's gotta be connected, right? It's gotta. He was keeping something in check with his show.
The loss of a country's innocence.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh,
we don't joke about it, but we do joke that that's when everything, but it's true.
It is true.
It is true.
I saw that date today and I was just like, oh my, come on, really? That's
gotta be fake
that
news.
seems a little too forced.
Yeah. You have in the notes here about Won't You Be My Neighbor. Now, is that the documentary?
Yes.
Not the Tom Hanks movie. Okay. I have not watched it because I know that it will make me really emotional. And I gotta be in the right mood.
It will. It did for me. Yeah. It's really, really great.
I watched the Jim Henson documentary and didn't openly weep, though. So I might get handled.
Okay, so you might be okay.
Yeah.
You might be okay.
Yeah.
Hey, what a transition there, Amy.
What a transition.
Did you do that on purpose?
I didn't. There's always a good chance I'm going to bring up Jim Henson.
That's true.
There's at least a 50%.
There's not a day that goes by, I think, where one of us doesn't reference a Muppet.
No, yeah, absolutely.
They are woven into my DNA.
Let's talk about our next show.
Amy,
Jim Henson Productions.
Do it. The first one, really. Didn't you tell me how to get
to Sesame Street?
Oh.
Now, I watched a lot of Sesame Street, both as a little kid and then again as a teenager, because I remember that I would...
Ironically?
It wasn't really ironic, I wouldn't say, but I remember there was a time in high school when I would get home from school and they were showing Sesame Street. Like there was still like 15 minutes left, and then The Joy of Painting would come on.
Okay.
And I would sit in our den downstairs, and I would put that on and go ahead and like do my homework so I could get it done, so I could like have the rest of the evening to do whatever.
Okay, well that's
so. I remember like kind of watching Sesame Street. I mean, I wasn't like glued to the TV, but I remember being like, "Oh, I love Sesame Street. It's so sweet. It's still on." Like, and then I would listen to Bob Ross paint and finish my homework, get it done. So yeah, I do.
That is some good homework doing TV.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Gosh, and Sesame Street around since 1969. Both of the shows.
Wow.
Both of these shows predate PBS.
Yeah.
And it's the first national program to use the Muppets. So this is the kind of most people's first exposure to the Muppets.
Yes.
Amy, tell me about Sesame Street. Tell me about these Muppets.
Oh God. Well, Sesame Street is, we talk about Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. If there was any other neighborhood that I would want to live in,
I like to think Sesame Street is, a block or two up.
Yeah, it's probably somewhere
from
in there.
Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet that trolley that you see in Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood at the beginning, I'll bet that goes over to Sesame Street.
It probably does.
You could probably
You're
go
probably
back
right.
and forth.
Yeah. So Sesame Street was, of course, we talked about this being a largely educational show, but it also had those same themes, and I mean, really, the intention with the shows like this was, let's start while they're young, not just teaching them. This is aimed for preschool students, so it's, do ABCs and 1, 2, 3s and stuff with kids that aren't in school yet. But it's also, teaching them how to be good people. Sesame Street has become a very diverse show. But
it always has been.
Yeah. The general vibe of the show is it's a street. And I assume it's supposed to be in New York.
The barrio.
Right? It's very brownstones.
It's the barrio.
The bar. Yeah.
It's the hood. It's the neighborhood.
Yeah, it's the hood.
It's just the neighborhood.
Yeah, exactly. And so you would have, of course, the Muppets, but you also had a lot of real people characters on the show. Huh?
Gordon.
Gordon. Yeah, you'd have Gordon. They also had lots of guests, just like the Muppet Show would have, but lots of like celebrity guests and stuff. And there'd be like, little skits and little animations and little short films.
It moves very fast, and
you're dealing with. You got to keep kids engaged.
That's it. That's the intentionality is to move really fast and keep them engaged. I was actually reading that like in the first season they had or like the idea. I don't even know if in the first season, maybe it was in like audience testing or something.
Yeah.
Where it was like the initial idea was that the Muppets would be their own thing and that they wouldn't interact with the humans.
Oh.
Like the two wouldn't interact, but they realized that like kids were basically anytime a Muppet showed up on screen, the kids were paying attention. As soon as it was just people, they lost it. So it was like, okay, we got to have
just like me
together
today.
all the time. Just like I'm paying attention when Big Bird shows up.
I'm listening to what he has to say.
God, I love it. I love Sesame Street. There is a very good reason that it is like the longest running,
endured,
most successful kids
Absolutely.
TV show of all time.
Yeah.
I want to just talk. Let's just talk about the Muppet, the characters.
Yes.
Because
you mentioned Big Bird, of course.
Yeah, we're gonna just hit the classics, the big ones, because there's a lot of like little minor ones,
and a lot that have been added over the years.
Now, Big Bird's a girl, right?
What?
Is Big Bird a girl?
Well, now I'm questioning everything.
What
is Big Bird a girl?
Google.
Big Bird doesn't have gender. That's the first problem.
Big Bird's gender. Google AI says a male, but he is as identified as a male and does not have a sexual orientation. Well,
that's good. I mean, we don't need to know his sexual orientation.
I don't need to know. Why did I think he was a girl?
I don't know.
Move past it.
Move past it. Let's just move past it. See, this is their first issue with it. He has a gender.
He's androgynous, big yellow androgynous
bird. Pick a gender. Pick a lane.
Pick a gender, big fake bird.
You know, an underrated character. Maybe not underrated, but he's seen as just being a grouch. But he's got a lot of heart. Oscar the Grouch.
Oscar the Grouch is arguably the best character.
He lives in a trash can.
Yeah, he's living the dream.
In a trash can?
That's his dream.
He's living somebody's dream.
That's Oscar's dream. Oscar is choosing to live in a trash can.
That's true.
He has plenty of people and fellow Muppets who would take him in if he wanted them to.
Yeah. He's
he
too
chooses
proud
to live in that trash can. He's too proud, damn it.
Proud. Well, he doesn't want. He's always. People are constantly knocking on the lid, and he's just like, Jesus Christ.
And he's always like, oh, God, what the fuck? Oh, I was sleeping.
Exactly. Well,
and he's always covered in trash and dirt.
Well, he's in the trash can.
That's what you get when you live in a trash can.
That's what you get. Now, one of my favorites is, of course, the Count. Count Von Count.
Sure. Yeah, that's a top tier Muppet right there.
I mean, he was spooky, but he didn't scare me.
Lord knows you and I love anything in the spooky realm.
Good Lord.
Including the Count.
Love a spook.
I had a bowl of Count Chocula last night.
Oh, shit. There you go.
Which has, by the way, sidebar,
the
boxes for the Monster cereals this year is a 70th anniversary Jim Henson thing with the the monsters as Muppets.
Oh my God.
So, yeah, check that out.
There are good things in the world, and it's Muppets, mostly.
That's it. One good thing in the world.
One good thing left.
One good thing remains.
Now, here I'll tell you what. Here's where the right. This is who they have a problem with, and it's Bert and Ernie.
It's got to be Bert and Ernie.
This is what pushed them over the edge. Are they friends or are they more? Like two men living together. Certainly, there must be something going on there, and they can't handle it.
Not necessarily. I agree. They can't handle it.
No, they can't handle it.
It is far too scandalous that those puppets felt dicks might touch,
or that they are two straight puppets who are confident enough that they don't
choosing to be single.
They're choosing to be single.
Just choosing to be two cool single dudes who are living together.
Who don't touch our little felt dicks together. That's also something that they can't handle. So, yeah, I'm just saying. Now, I'm gonna. The next two are a bit too much on the energy level for me, and it's Elmo, which I guess he's fine, but Tickle Me Elmo was such a big thing when we were
Elmo's
like
just kind of, I don't know.
I don't like his
Elmo
voice.
is so much like an actual little child, which makes me uncomfortable often. Where I'm just like, I don't know how to talk to this person. This
try to shake its
this proto person. Like, hello, baby, how are you?
That's
hello,
what it
child.
is. It's like he's a real child. He's like,
I don't know.
I want candy. I'm like, no.
I don't. Ask your mom. I don't
fucking
care.
Have any. Ask your mom.
I don't have any candy.
And this is why we don't have children.
My phone doesn't have any games on it.
Cookie Monster is too fucking much for me.
I
will
not stand for Cookie Monster slander. He's classic.
He's classic. But could you imagine, like, being around him a lot? The energy level's too high.
I mean,
he goes fucking crazy for those cookies.
There's a Mrs.
Fields cookies at the mall.
In his defense, cookies are delicious.
Well, they are. If you can get your hands on one around Cookie Monster.
No, that's a good point.
He makes such a mess too.
See, that would be my thing. I'm too much of a.
You're too much of a neat freak. You'd be behind him with a dustbuster at all times. with
just
those getting
vomit,
those crumbs.
just sucking up cookie crumbs.
Now you know who I love is Grover.
See, Grover is an underrated.
He's underrated. Yeah,
I feel like he's like the straight man.
Yes, he is.
You know,
Yes,
he's the normal person.
assuming Bert and Ernie are gay. Yes, Grover is.
Well,
the straight.
not to say that's not normal.
No, but I'm just saying that makes Grover the straight.
Grover, I think, is probably straight. I mean, not that. Again, I don't care.
It doesn't matter.
I don't even think they have genitals, if we're being honest.
I don't think they do.
I
don't
never
think they
see
have
anything down
genders
there.
or genitals, and the right doesn't like that.
No.
They
You gotta be defined. We gotta see that felt dick.
We gotta see it and police it. Yep. I love Grover. I do love Grover. Yeah.
Sesame Street, I thought is interesting. I did not know this.
Mm-hmm.
I learned this today, that they are the first show that was basically written with a curriculum. Like it started as educational goals.
Yeah.
And they built the show around that and have since and continue to adapt the show with essentially educational goals in mind.
Yep.
In addition, it is also the first show
Yeah.
that has ever been studied by that like formally studied for its educational effects. So I mean, this show is designed top to bottom to A, keep a kid's attention,
Yeah.
and B, educate them, prepare young kids for school.
Right. Because again, this is aimed towards preschool kids. So
Yeah.
this is.
And I think with it being in the barrio, it was, they were targeting, low income families, who might not have a lot of benefits. They might, these kids might be entering kindergarten at a deficiency. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, they're promoting things that are bad words nowadays, like tolerance and diversity and, non-aggressive conflict resolution.
We can't have
stuff
that.
like that.
Only aggressive conflict resolution from here on out. That's what we like. Yeah. Sesame Street is just it kind of, I can't fathom a world that doesn't exist in, because it has been around since long before me. So it is odd to try to fathom a world without Sesame Street. It's an institution.
It is absolutely an institution.
Yeah.
It should be an institution, but is not as much of one, for whatever reason, is Reading Rainbow. And you know who is an institution unto himself is
It's
fucking
in a
LeVar
book,
Burton.
Reading Rainbow. Now, as a big reader, you and I
Oh yeah, we're
fucking
big
loved
readers.
us some Reading Rainbow.
Oh yeah, this one was my favorite.
Same.
I don't know. I was trying to think today which is the best of the theme songs from these three big ones that we've talked about. I mean, it might be Reading Rainbow.
It might be. Well, that's Sesame Street.
Go anyway.
Oh no, yeah, it's Reading Rainbow.
Oh no, you convinced me.
Oh yeah, you hit that one.
forgot about that part.
I forgot about that part. That is the best one. Yeah. This one ran also way later than I thought. This started in July of 1983 and ran until November of 2006.
Yeah, and it still exists
Out of
in
high
different
school.
forms. There's actually a live show now.
Yep.
There is, and starting in like the early or the late 2010s, it sort of exists as an app.
Okay.
Which like has tons of free books and activities and LeVar Burton videos, and I mean it's basically the show in app form.
That's amazing. Well, tell
And
it like what was the
not
show?
to toot my own horn or anything, but I actually did get to see LeVar Burton speak in person.
You met him, didn't you?
I didn't. Well, I didn't meet him, but I was.
Okay.
I got to sit in the front row at a very small, like kind of intimate, little private thing. So I didn't.
That's
get to
very
talk
cool.
To him, but it was cool. He was delightful.
Oh.
And everything you would want LeVar Burton to be.
Of course he was.
I
Now,
would have
tell us-
frozen up like Troy in Community if I'd actually met him. Like, there's no way I would have been able to be cool.
It's like when I met Devon Sawa, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would black out probably.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even remember it.
yeah.
I'd probably try to kiss him on the mouth and just like wouldn't even remember doing it.
You'd come to as they're hauling you out.
Yeah, as they're beating me to the ground for assaulting LeVar Burton.
Tasing you. Don't tase me, bro.
Oh, God.
Tell us about Reading Rainbow. Like, what was the format? I mean, obviously they're encouraging reading.
Yeah, so you would have a couple different things. You would have each episode would feature a picture book.
Yeah.
And they would do this, like, camera. It was called iconographic animation.
Uh-huh.
Where they basically film the illustrations from the book. It's like kind of a combination of turning the illustrations from the book into a moving thing.
That's very cool.
It is very cool. And lots of guests. Like, every episode would kind of usually the person reading, I think, would, like, they'd have, like, guest readers come on and do books. Then you would have LeVar Burton come on, and he would talk about the episode themes, and then you'd usually have a couple segments of, like, he'll go like do an interview, or they'll talk about different things related to that book.
Yeah.
And
I
then,
always remembered the when they would, like, go to or come back from commercials, they might have, like, a little mini book report when they have, like, a kid being
that was the end.
Oh, that was the end. Okay.
And they were called book reviews.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you. I'm jumping ahead.
And LeVar, I can call him LeVar.
Well, you're close personal friends.
I'm
yeah.
a close person. My
You
close
kissed him on the
LeVar.
mouth.
As LeVar would say, but you don't have to take my word for it.
Thank you. There it was.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then he would cut to, the kids doing the little, like, capsule
Little mini
reviews, like
reviews,
little,
yes.
like, 30-second or whatever.
Who cares? Because
Reviews
of Winn-Dixie.
of books that they
yeah.
liked.
Yes. Oh my God. I just loved it.
The ultimate dream to be on that show, too.
Oh, that would be the ultimate dream. This, I feel like, tied very much in with the Read posters that were in the libraries with all the celebrities.
Yes. Oh,
Like,
yeah. I remember those.
I mean, yeah, that was probably a little more early 90s, but I feel like, reading comprehension was big then.
Oh, yeah. Then.
Not now. Then, yeah. Yeah.
Then.
Yeah.
God, Reading Rainbow. Just what an absolute delight of a show.
Yeah.
And yeah, for a book nerd like me.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
Like, just heaven.
Top tier. Now, I wasn't much of a science person. I still am not. But I always enjoyed a little bit of our next show here.
Oh, well, yeah, Bill Nye. I thought that kind of made, like, a nice little... Because I feel like, whereas LeVar Burton, he's the reading guy, he's the book guy, Bill Nye is to science what LeVar Burton is to reading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God,
Bill Nye was like a vibe. That was, talk about, like, MTV, like, really fast-paced, really, like...
Oh, yeah.
Crazy animation and rock music.
Also, great theme song.
Great theme song, great
Bill Nye,
intro.
the science guy.
Bill.
Yeah. I just want people.
And they had like the plastic dinosaurs flying by.
Oh God,
and like
that's a great intro.
his big head spinning.
His P-Pal, PBS head, just
his P-Pal.
Yeah.
Watch out for my P-Pal.
I'm just gonna start calling heads P-Pals. Oh, I hit my P-Pal getting out of the car. Oh God. Oh no, not my P-Pal. I really want to make people wonder. Yeah, this was very good. But also, I don't like science stuff. So
no.
No.
See, I always love the science stuff.
Yeah, science is always my least favorite subject.
Yeah, I know. I like the science stuff. I even liked like Mr. Wizard, even though he was kind of a dick. I just remember him just kind of being a prick.
Yeah.
And just like, let me do it. Let me do it, you damn kid.
It was very like IT guy from SNL, just like get out of my way.
But Bill Nye, he was the man.
He
made it cool. He made it funny.
He did, yeah. It's like if I was gonna get into science, it was because of Bill Nye.
And that's the thing, is it's all about his personality that makes the content so fun. Is that they're doing like movie parodies and commercial parodies, and he's just funny.
Exactly.
Anyway,
yeah.
So yeah, he had a great personality for it, and obviously is still at it.
Yes.
Had that show a couple years ago that was like kind of an adult version, or like geared toward adults.
I also saw some stuff of him when he was like really young, like probably early 20s. Mm-hmm. And I hate to break it to everyone, he was hot.
So I read actually that he was an engineer.
Yeah.
And started doing stand-up comedy.
Okay.
In Washington State. After he won a Steve Martin lookalike contest.
What?
And met some comedians, and he started doing stand-up comedy and ended up doing like a sketch comedy show, and that's how he like got
Well, that
into,
makes
like,
sense because young Steve Martin's kind of hot.
Old Steve Martin's hot. I mean,
All Steve Martin's hot.
all Steve Martin's hot. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, young Bill Nye had. I mean, he's not but he's like he's like a nerd hot, where it's he's not your quintessential like leading man, but you're like,
damn, Bill.
Sparks are flying, if you know what I mean.
He
That was
blinded you with
He
science.
blinded me. Now,
All right.
this last show that we're going to talk about, I kind of remember, but I'm going to be honest, I don't really remember watching it much.
You don't remember watching a lot of Ghost Rider?
I mean, maybe? I don't know. Let's talk about it.
Well, Ghost Rider, this was a friend group, and it was a detective thing with a supernatural bent
Yes.
to it. And again, you're right up my alley with this. Like, it's a little spooky. There's mystery. There's crime. The idea of like kid detectives.
Well, I was watching some Mary-Kate and Ashley mysteries.
Sure.
So I didn't have time much for Ghost Rider.
Well, if you've never seen Ghost Rider, or you haven't in a long time, it's about this group of friends who kind of are like a young detective agency who solve neighborhood crimes and mysteries with the help of a ghost.
Oh,
whose name is Ghost Rider.
Okay.
And Ghost
Not to
Rider
be confused with Ghost Rider, which is a Nicolas Cage movie.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
But what if you solved mysteries with the help of a flaming motorcycle riding Nicolas Cage?
I mean,
there might be something here. We could combine the two.
I would watch it.
I would watch as the kids say, I would be sat. Be sat for that.
Oh, I haven't heard that one.
Continue. I'll explain to you later.
No, the Ghost Rider was, as you can imagine, like the educational goals of that had a lot to do with reading and writing and critical thinking. And I remember it being very interactive. Like
all very negative things now.
All very negative things now. I remember it being really interactive. You were kind of encouraged to follow along. And it was like they would do like multi-episode arcs. It was like every quote-unquote arc would be like 4 episodes. Oh. And you were kind of like encouraged to like kind of keep up and try to solve the mystery with them.
I mean, I remember it, but it wasn't one that I don't think I watched as much as
I didn't watch it as much, certainly, but I loved it every time I caught it.
Yeah.
I love the mystery aspect. I love the ghost. I thought it was a cool, and I still do think it's a cool concept, the ghost that can only communicate via text.
Yeah.
Like whatever words and letters he can find used to form into words and sentences. And
yeah, because I mean, if it's a ghost, you could just be like, oh, Brian did it. You know, well, that's...
Brian did it. Well, why couldn't he just spell that out?
We've debunked the whole thing.
Move past it. Move past it. No, I don't think Ghost Rider is omniscient. He's helping them. It's not like he knows all the divine secrets of the universe.
Oh, okay.
He's like, I'm here to help.
Is he like sneaking into places and unlocking doors because he's a ghost?
No. All he can do is the text thing. That's why.
All he can do is
That's why he has his gang of child soldiers to do his bidding.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm with you now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. That's it. That's all I have to say.
All right. Well, I'm gonna have to pull up a couple. I'm gonna have to watch some Ghost Rider because I do remember it. But
Ghost Rider is a lot of fun. Maybe not obviously as remembered as Sesame Street or Mr. Rogers, but I wanted to bring up Ghost Rider just because I have a lot of fond memories of it, and I know a lot of our listeners do too.
yeah, for sure.
I had a lot of people actually mention Ghost Rider to me when we announced that we were doing this.
I
as a
love
topic,
that.
So, yeah.
Now, for the rest of the episode, we are, as stated at the beginning, we're gonna talk about
You're very official.
the political landscape. Well, I just want to give people an out. So if you don't want to listen, then that is okay. We will see you next time. But like you said, we hope that you do. And Justin, you had some questions that you posed at the beginning.
Yeah.
Of the episode.
So, yeah, the questions I posed was why do the people in charge currently in this country want to take this PBS away? Why do they say they want to take it away, and why do they actually want to take it away? But first, a little context.
Yeah.
If you have not been paying attention,
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago, last month, Congress passed a rescissions bill that essentially took back $1.1 billion that was previously approved for the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, which is the organization that runs PBS and NPR.
Yep.
And so this essentially, these shows have always relied on, this is public media.
Right.
These shows have always relied to some extent on government funding.
And viewers like us.
And viewers like us, and, different private grants and foundations sponsor this type of thing. But
I just want to say that with the goal of these shows, these are all educational shows.
Well, yeah, and when we're talking about at this point PBS as a whole, I mean, this is,
right.
It is a public, an independent, relatively trusted voice
Yeah.
that is outside of political partisan control.
Yes.
And
It doesn't matter who's in office, PBS, or, CPB is funded.
yes.
Yeah.
It has been for decades, but not anymore. Basically, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting is shutting down. They have already laid off, I think, most of their staff, or will be laid off by the end of September.
Yeah.
And unless something changes drastically, they'll be done in January. So what does this mean? What does this mean for PBS? On average, only about 15% of PBS's revenue, and that of its different member stations all over the country, comes from the federal support via the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. So essentially what this means is that you have different PBS stations all over the country. The ones that are in bigger markets will likely largely be fine. As
they'll have to cut back, but they won't necessarily
they'll have
go
to cut
under.
back, and they are trying to, and currently are finding ways to make up that support in other ways. What's going to suffer are the local stations in rural and underserved areas, and that's sort of the point.
Yes.
These are stations that relied much more heavily on CPB grants.
Yeah.
Some stations derive 25 to 30% or more of their budget. So, basically more of a hit than they can take.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna see in the next couple of months to a year is these PBS stations in rural areas like you and I live in.
Yep.
Shut down. This is for a lot of people, and if you don't live in rural areas, you might not understand the limitations of what people can have access to in particularly rural areas.
Yes.
For a lot of people, this is one of the only sources of reliable local news, cultural programming, and educational kids TV.
Yeah.
And educational adults TV.
Yeah.
And not to mention NPR, which is a whole other conversation.
Exactly. Yeah. We're going to focus on PBS, but that's obviously also in the
what
picture.
we're going to see is a lot of these smaller stations, possibly in our area, going away. And that's the goal, right?
Yeah.
That's the goal. So why do these people say that they want this stuff to go away? So what are the talking points of defunding public broadcasting?
Well, they say that first of all, they say this is non-essential spending. That the money that it's a drain
Sure.
on our budget, our economy.
It's a fiscal thing. Okay,
It's fiscal.
Fair enough, I guess.
Okay. There's also argument that PBS and NPR have a liberal or left-wing bias, mainly because people out and out say that. You have Marjorie Taylor Greene
They've been saying it for decades. Yeah.
For decades. Radical left-wing echo chamber is the term that's used. So it essentially, being able to push an agenda of acceptance and tolerance and diversity is liberal. It's a bad thing.
That is generally
that's their
progressive. Yes, it's viewed, at least according to the talking points, as a sort of indoctrination. But in general, it is a continuation of the anti-establishment, anti-media rhetoric that has become so common
in the
amongst
last 10
the right.
years.
And it's been that way for decades, but
Yes.
it's been mask off in the Trump era.
Yeah.
But why do they really want this stuff to go away? That's what they say. That's what they say on TV and on the internet. But why do they really want this stuff to go away? So we mentioned fiscal responsibility. Okay, fair enough. This is wasteful spending. So I looked it up, and it wasn't hard to find. For fiscal year 2024, the entire U.S. budget was $6.3 trillion with a T. And Corporation for Public Broadcasting funding made up less than 0.01% of that funding. So around 0.008%.
Wow, we're gonna feel that. They're gonna feel that in the budget. They're gonna be the money's gonna be flowing for them now, right?
And like I said, look, public broadcasting is one of the few widely trusted. It's non-commercial. It's not partisan.
Yeah.
It doesn't have vested interests controlling it, and because of that, it's an enemy to the people that are currently in charge.
Yes.
Of this country, and for a political movement that has over decades embraced the idea that these media outlets, how often have we heard of there's a liberal bias in the media, bias in the media? This has been going on for decades.
Yes.
For a political movement that has over decades embraced the idea that most major media outlets are liberal, right? Liberal bias. There's a liberal bias in the media. There's this, there's that. For people that have been saying that for years and years, this is a great opportunity for them to remove a platform that can challenge their partisan narratives, and it takes away an independent editorial source that's free from government influence, that's free from corporate influence.
Well, because for them, and that's the big thing is for them, PBS is too progressive because it values things that they just do not want anymore. And so even though it is independent, and it is not privately owned, like you said, there's not people's vested interests, but it is seen as too progressive.
Because they have such high editorial standards,
Yeah.
it's viewed as having a liberal bias, when in reality it's just reality that has that bias.
Yeah.
And they want to make sure that goes away. They want to be able to control the message, and the way they do that is by getting rid of public broadcasting, replacing it with ideologically aligned private outlets, privately owned outlets like PragerU. That's going to dominate the information that you get, that are going to push a right-wing authoritarian agenda onto your kids.
Yeah.
And the most important part to them in all of this is make their rich friends a whole bunch of money. Because, yes. They've been trying to do this for years. Groups like the Heritage Foundation and the Cato Institute have been doing this for years. They've argued that the U.S. should follow a more market-driven model like cable and streaming instead of subsidizing. It's about making people richer. Always follow the money.
Not us. No. It's about making rich people richer. Let's be clear.
And this is not obviously limited to the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. This is part of a larger rollback of public sector involvement in areas that the right believes that the private market can serve. And the problem with that is that the private market is often not going to maintain, like for instance PBS, the same educational standards, the same rural coverage, because it's not cost feasible to do that.
No, yeah.
This is a part of a larger strategic effort to weaken all of our public institutions.
Yes.
And expand and replace those public institutions with whoever is going to push their agenda and whoever is going to make them money.
Yeah. I mean, we have a voucher program now in the state of Tennessee with our schools. You know, the idea is to, you know, public institutions, like you said, that they see them as leaning left when really it's the reality of it. And what the problem is that if it's a public institution, they can't control the narrative. They can't control, you know, the information that's getting out. And so how do they do that? They get in power and they defund all that shit so that they can replace it with these things that make themselves and all their buddies richer. So.
And what about PBS Kids specifically?
Yeah.
So much like the creators of the shows that we talk about today on the show, these people know how important it is to get to kids while they're young.
Right, I said that earlier. Yeah.
Yep. They do not want a population of educated,
Nope.
well-rounded citizens that are capable of critical thinking,
Nope.
and emotional maturity. Yep. This does nothing to further their agenda, which is primarily the consolidation of power and money among the wealthiest at the expense of everybody else.
Truly doesn't and truly doesn't matter at this point, you know, whether you are on food stamps or not, whether you are a racial minority or not. It doesn't matter anymore. It's just everybody.
What they want are worker bees.
Yes.
They want people who are just smart enough to keep the economy going, to keep making the bosses money, and to be thankful for whatever meager scraps that they allow us. But not
smart enough to know what's happening to them.
But not smart enough to realize how screwed they're getting.
Yeah.
Look, we talked about it so much over the last hour. These shows like Sesame Street,
right,
and Mr. Rogers, they promote things like acceptance, kindness, patience, empathy.
Yeah.
And all of these things are in direct contrast to the world that these people are trying to create.
Yeah.
If they can keep us divided and fighting and hating each other, then maybe we won't notice that these robber barons, these fascist, authoritarian grifters, and all of their enablers are robbing all of us blind. And this is a lot bigger than Sesame Street or cartoons.
Yeah.
This is a coordinated, systemic, dismantling of everything that this country has built and strived for. And in exchange, we get open corruption and the maximizing of shareholder profits, because that's the only thing that matters. If it makes life better for you and me, the average person, but it doesn't make the right people enough money, then it's on the chopping block.
Yeah.
And the reason is because they don't give a fuck about you. And they don't give a fuck about your kids outside of growing up to be the next generation of worker bees to make them money.
Yeah.
I want to end with this. I know that a lot of us are like really scared and feeling pretty hopeless as we're watching all of this stuff play out every day. So if you've been on the internet, which I assume you have, you found this podcast, you've probably seen this quote floating around as it goes viral every couple months or every couple years when they try to do this stuff. It's a great quote from Fred Rogers, and it's this: when I was a boy and I would see scary things in the news, my mother would say to me, look for the helpers. You'll always find people that are helping. And I'll just add to that, be a helper.
Yeah.
Especially if you are in a position of privilege, like me.
Yep, and me.
And you.
Yep.
Take care. I will leave you with this. Take care of the people in your community. Protect them. Because this is not going to stop with rounding up immigrants. It's not going to stop with persecuting trans people. They want everything from me and you and all of us. And they're going to take it. And I know we don't like to talk about it, and I know we don't like to think about it because it's so unpleasant, but we are in this for the long haul, like it or not. And the most important weapon that we have is each other, is our collective power. So that's all I wanted to say. And stay safe and stay cool, and we'll see you next time, guys.
Now, Mr. Rogers is certainly one of the best things that's ever happened to public television, and his Peabody Award is testament to that fact. We in public television are proud of Fred Rogers, and I'm proud to present Mr. Rogers to you now. Fred.
All right, Rogers, you got the floor.
Senator Pastore, this is a philosophical statement and would take about 10 minutes to read, so I'll not do that. One of the first things that a child learns in a healthy family is trust. And I trust what you have said, that you will read this. It's very important to me. I care deeply about children. My first children...
Will it make you happy if you read it?
I'd just like to talk about it, if it's all right.
Sir. Okay.
My first children's program was on WQED 15 years ago, and its budget was $30. Now, with the help of the Sears Roebuck Foundation and National Educational Television, as well as all of the affiliated stations, each station pays to show our program. It's a unique kind of funding in educational television. With this help, now our program has a budget of $6,000. It may sound like quite a difference, but $6,000 pays for less than 2 minutes of cartoons, 2 minutes of animated, what I sometimes say, bombardment. I'm very much concerned, as I know you are, about what's being delivered to our children in this country. And I've worked in the field of child development for 6 years now, trying to understand the inner needs of children. We deal with such things as the inner drama of childhood. We don't have to bop somebody over the head to make him, to make drama on the screen. We deal with such things as getting a haircut, or the feelings about brothers and sisters, and the kind of anger that arises in simple family situations. And we speak to it constructively.
How long a program is it?
It's a half hour every day. Most channels schedule it in the noontime as well as in the evening. WETA here has scheduled it in the late afternoon.
Could we get a copy of this so that we can see it? Maybe not today, but I'd like to see the program.
I'd like very much for you
I'd
to
like to see the program itself, or any one of them, you see.
We made 100 programs for EEN, the Eastern Educational Network, and then when the money ran out, people in Boston and Pittsburgh and Chicago all came to the fore and said, we've got to have more of this neighborhood expression of care. And this is what I give. I give an expression of care every day to each child to help him realize that he is unique. I end the program by saying, you've made this day a special day by just your being you. There's no person in the whole world like you, and I like you just the way you are. And I feel that if we in public television can only make it clear that feelings are mentionable and manageable, we will have done a great service for mental health. I think that it's much more dramatic that two men could be working out their feelings of anger, much more dramatic than showing something of gunfire. I'm constantly concerned about what our children are seeing. And for 15 years, I have tried in this country and Canada to present what I feel is a meaningful expression of care.
Do you narrate it?
I'm the host, yes, and I do all the puppets, and I write all the music, and I write all the scripts.
Well, I'm supposed to be a pretty tough guy, and this is the first time I've had goosebumps for the last 2 days.
Well, I'm grateful not only for your goosebumps, but for your interest in our kind of communication. Could I tell you the words of one of the songs which I feel is very important?
Yes.
This has to do with that good feeling of control, which I feel that children need to know is there. And it starts out, what do you do with the mad that you feel? And that first line came straight from a child. I work with children, doing puppets in very personal communication with small groups. What do you do with the mad that you feel when you feel so mad you could bite? When the whole wide world seems oh so wrong, and nothing you do seems very right. What do you do? Do you punch a bag? Do you pound some clay or some dough? Do you round up friends for a game of tag or see how fast you go? It's great to be able to stop when you've planned a thing that's wrong and be able to do something else instead. And think this song. I can stop when I want to, can stop when I wish, can stop, 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 anytime. And what a good feeling to feel like this, and know that the feeling is really mine. Know that there's something deep inside that helps us become what we can. For a girl can be someday a lady, and a boy can be someday a man.
I think it's wonderful. I think it's wonderful. Looks like you just earned the $20 million.